Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a pick a card about what shift is happening right now in your life. Take your time to get yourself into a receptive mode. If you need to know how to pick the correct card, I have a video linked down below to do that. So check that out first if you need it. Otherwise, once you are in a receiving mode, we can get started with our group 1 here, 2, 3, and 4. Timestamps are provided below. Hey group 1, let's get started with your reading. So with your oracle card first, talking about what shift is occurring right now in your life, what change we have coming. Expect a miracle. Okay, this is obviously a really good card to get for your overall energy, but right off the bat, I just feel like you should know how divinely protected you are at this time. I know this is a very trying time for many people, so just, look at the imagery of how many angels are surrounding Mother Mary in this photo. That is the energy that you have, not only you, but your inner child. Just, you're completely taken care of in this situation, and you should be expecting a miracle, some grave shifts that are going to make a big difference in your life, because there's just so many energies that are working with you right now. So let's get into this a little bit more with our astro cards. So we have the Sun and Leo. Okay, double sun energy. So, from this, I do feel like you are kind of coming out of your shell a little bit. Like this is showing the energy that you have been working on, I feel like for the past 6 months or so, has really, it's going to pay off a lot. You're seeing a lot more of the things that you enjoy come into your life, come into fruition, I'm assuming. And just, you're seeing that you can express yourself in a more creative, abundant kind of way. You're seeing that you have value and you hold more value than I think you previously have seen in your life. And you're going to shine brighter than you have ever before, especially in your relationships with others. But like I said, I feel like there is a big shift in just how you move throughout your life, because you know about this divine connection. You know that you are protected, and the more that you trust in that and trust, what the universe is trying to convey to you about trying to get that trust back with it, I feel like you're going to have a lot of really good rewards come in, because Leo is all about your fun energy, and the sun is ruled by Leo. So this is double the fun, double the excitement, plus with expect the miracle. This is such a positive change, so that's a really good thing to keep in mind. Just feeling like you are going to be more confident in this time. You are really going to be able to express your authentic light, and whatever that looks like to you. I feel like in a way you're kind of showing off your attitude. Maybe you were told that you were too much at one point and you became too little. You didn't want to push too far. You didn't want to inconvenience anyone, but you've learned now how to control your energy and how to kind of tailor it into a way that expresses more truthfully who you are. So this is a very good energy. It's like you kind of came full circle and are now able to embody the energy that you were kind of struggling to embody at one point in your life. So next, with our tarot cards though, we have the Knight of Wands. So this is also very fiery energy, a double fire energy. So if you guys are a fire sign or have fire in your natal chart, this is definitely being activated right now. But everybody does somewhere. So that's just where you should know if you're into astrology. But I do see that the transformation that's happening right now is a lot to do with your spiritual connection. Like I said, there is just this understanding of the divine guidance that you have now that gives you that one up and allows you to kind of move a lot faster than maybe other people that are trying to do similar things to you. So take that as a good sign, a good omen, and allow that to kind of push you forward. Don't feel the worry or the angst that you had to work past, because you worked past it. Once you've completed a cycle, the final step is kind of integrating that lesson that you learned. And that's kind of where this knight is before he can become, the king, the ruler of the wands. He has to get that experience. He has to understand the integration process. And that's where you are right now. But, like I said, going back to the Leo energy, the sun, with the Knight of Wands, don't be afraid to take the actions that you need. Don't be afraid to let your light shine. That is the biggest change that is coming right now, I feel like, is you have more opportunity now than ever before in your life to spread the awareness that you hold with your expression. And when you do that, you expand consciousness for other people. Even if you don't understand how it all works, I mean, that's how it works. So let's see what you have next. We have the Lovers. What? Oh my God, you guys have so much. Oh, and even more so, you have Leo the Lover and then the actual Lovers. So that could also be a shift. I mean, I'm not much of a love reader, but if you are somebody that has been kind of calling in like-minded people, people that share the same kind of qualities as you, whether it be romantically or it's just, on a soul, passionate, compassion kind of level where people just really understand you and they want to connect with you. They want to, learn from you and you learn from them. I feel like this is going to be a good time for you to start seeing that in your life. You're starting to see, again, with the divine intervention, the angels are very, very prevalent in your reading right now. So I'm just feeling like this is a time where you do have that divine intervention. You do have either a love for yourself come out, a deeper love for yourself, a deeper connection to yourself that is coming out, or forming deeper connections with other people, which I find that those two actually go pretty well hand in hand. So the inner work that you've been doing about finding who you are is paying off and allowing you to attract the type of people that bring you the happiness that you want in situations as well. But ultimately, it does start from within you, and you've kind of taken that full throttle and made it happen. So good for you, group 1. But let's see our last card. We have the 10 of Swords in reverse. You guys, you are healing this belief system that you had, I think, about how other people and you were meant to work. This is a big relational message I'm getting, just a big idea about how you expected yourself to be in the world, but also how you expected others to work with you. This is a big, like I said, relational energy. You have a lot of people that you care about and that you did care about, and that really may have changed your belief systems because of that, may have, it's almost like there was one too many thoughts or beliefs or just patterns that when you hit that last one, I mean, that was the final go. You were able to now seek the change that you were looking for, and thus you are creating that change within yourself. But, when we go through things like, the 10 of Swords or just the Swords journey in general, it can be very strenuous because you spend your whole life thinking a certain way and doing things a certain way and, being a certain way, like I said. So when you decide that you can change, you can do things the way that you want to do them, and that you have every right to do that, that's where this kind of moment happens with the 10 of Swords, where you can kind of rebirth from this sort of limiting stance on life where things really just got you down. They really made you feel like you were worthless. You couldn't do anything and you were like dead. But in a way, like I said, it's what started the rebirth was the weight that you were carrying. So the fact that you went through all of this and you were seeing your way out of it, I mean, that provides you with so much more bliss in your life, not in just, one area, one manifestation, but in every area, in every manifestation that you have going forward. It's all going to align with a higher purpose and something that just brings you a lot more connectivity to the world around you and the people around you. So group 1, I hope that resonated for you guys. Again, expect a miracle. Expect that whatever change is happening in your life right now, it is a significant change. I feel like different wishes, different manifestations that you've been trying to bring in, they will be answered, but not in the way that you are expecting. So just keep that in mind, group 1. But like I said, this shift is so beautiful and allows so much more of your true self, your true essence to come forward. And honestly, that is the most magical way to live your life. So congratulations, group 1. If this message resonated, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. You can also book a private reading if you're interested in doing so. I'll link down below, so check it out. But thank you guys again for this reading, and I will see you guys in a later video. Bye for now. Hello, group 2. Let's get started with your reading about what is shifting, changing in your life currently. So starting off with our Oracle card, we have boundaries. Interesting. So right off the bat, obviously, this could mean that you have been working on establishing more clear boundaries in your life. It could be somebody that has boundary issues basically with your energy and your time, as it says in this card. But I have a feeling that also you have kind of an energy issue when it comes to picking up other people's energy. So this may be a shift in you understanding your own energy versus another, which is discernment and absolutely key for your progression in spiritual development. So I feel like this is going to be a really good time for you to just kind of establish, your own power, your own energy, and just feel it for all that it is. So getting more into it though, of course, we have flow, or trine I should say, and then also semi-sextile, allowing. So these are very, very flowing energies going with the boundaries. So I feel like what may have been the case in the past with this boundaries is that, like I said, you were flowing almost too freely and almost too allowing of people to kind of attack you in a way. Not necessarily in a bad way, but I do just feel like your energy was being kind of compromised because you were so giving and so flowy to other people and almost too giving, like kind of when people walk all over you. And that is something that you've worked to change. I feel like with this trine, you're realizing more how to harmonize with other energies and how to work with people instead of, working for people, and working more towards a common goal instead of just working towards somebody else's goal. Because, the flow is a great thing to have. But like I said, there is a part of you that can be too flowy and to go with the flow and to, whatever you say. And that may have other reasons why that happens. But with the semi-sextile, I feel like this is supposed to encourage you to go with the flow in a way that isn't people pleasing, I guess, is the biggest thing that comes up. I feel like you are learning your own worth and your own power. And because of that, you see that not everything needs your help and not everything needs your 2 cents into it. And because you know that, you are able to spend time on things that actually have more potential and actually have, that are actually worth your time, honestly, to be blunt about it. So I feel like this is a very powerful energy for somebody who is going to start getting more into the craft that suits them and their life purpose. So into the tarot cards, we have the Emperor. Oh my God, what did I just say about getting into your life purpose? So the Emperor knows a lot. For one, it knows how to handle structures. It knows how to handle, it knows how to lead people. And if you haven't learned your boundaries, you can't lead people. You can't lead people in an efficient way. There's an instability in your structures if you don't know, what's your problem and what's not your problem, and what, can be figured out by itself or by other people, or etc. So I feel like you embodying this Emperor energy now is allowing you to really step forward with this awareness of energies, for one, but for two, you have such a background and an understanding now of other people's energies, maybe because you didn't have boundaries and you kind of let everything just kind of flow. And that feels like it didn't serve you, but it did teach you a lesson. And thankfully what you did and how you may have not had boundaries actually gave you more of an insight onto how to be a better leader and how to understand other people, because you deeply, deeply, deeply understand other people. And I think that is such a one-up, and I feel like that is really going to change just how you live your life. I feel like life is not going to feel so harsh anymore. While the Emperor is kind of a harsher energy, it's also ruled by Aries, and Aries is very carefree. It's very it's the individual, it's the child of the zodiac. It's somebody who is leading, but from a whole cycle of knowing. So that is where you're kind of coming into with this shift. But we have the Two of Pentacles in reverse as well. So yeah, like I said, just restoring that balance, really finding the area of your life that you are excited to put energy into, where you're excited to work hard. Because, if you're not on the right track, kind of a paradox to say, because I always believe that we are on the right track, even if it's the wrong thing, for the end goal. But really, it's all about the experience. So I feel like you have just really understood now that you can control your energy, control what you allow into your life. That's another thing with this semi-sextile, is that you have to realize what you allow in your life. Things don't just happen to you. Nobody makes you feel a certain way. Nobody makes you do certain things. It is all a choice that you make. And when you believe that you are allowing these things into your life, that's where you take back their power. That's where you find this Emperor energy, because you're like, oh, I am related to the collective, and if I'm not careful and don't have my boundaries, I could easily get persuaded into doing things that put me out of balance and, make me carry more weight than what I need to. So this is an important time for you, especially with your work, I feel like, and just physical world stuff. I feel like this is a good time for you to really get things back in order. I just feel like this is a good time for you to pick up on the things that have been trying to make sense to you, if that makes sense. So we have the Three of Pentacles again. Like I said, this is really earthy energy. So I feel like, once you restore this balance, that's the shift that's going on right now. Once you restore this balance of, how much give and take you are either getting from the world or taking from the world, or, vice versa. Once you get that all sorted out and you know that there's certain things that you can allow to happen, you can allow for the flow. You can allow for things to flow to you and for things to happen how they naturally should. That is something here that the more you get in flow, and understanding flow is different than, pleasing and allowing and letting someone walk over you. Once you recognize that, you can move on to this Three of Pentacles energy, which is upright in this reading. And that is all about being able to connect and collaborate with other people. This is about coming together with like-minded ideas and forming some actual ideas and products and events and whatever out of them. I mean, this card really allows you to open up and, like I said, use people in a healthy way, have healthy relationships, and feel like you are connected to people in a way that serves not only them or the cause that you guys are working on, but it serves you on a personal level. It allows for you to kind of hold your counsel in a respectable manner instead of having all of these other energies poke and pry at you when in reality you don't want anything to do with it. So I feel like these are really kind of your end goal right now, working on just collaborating, finding that really connecting side of you between yourself and others, and knowing your place, knowing your boundaries, knowing your worth, and allowing those two to kind of balance out. Because when you do that, like I said, you allow for so many things to happen that they just wouldn't happen if you tried to have either too much control or not any control. So I just want to remind you that you are co-creating this lovely universe, this lovely reality, and you don't have to do it alone, but you don't have to do it all by yourself. So finding balance within that is truly what is happening for you right now and how your life is completely shifting. So group 2, I hope this resonates. If it does, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you are looking for a more in-depth reading, I do offer those all linked down below, so check it out. But otherwise, I will see you in a later video. Bye for now. Group 3, let's get started with your reading about what is changing and shifting in your life right now. So starting with our Oracle card, we have Undying Love. Okay, so I feel like this is a big lesson in compassion, learning how to fully and completely love, from a place that isn't invested in anything other than sharing the love that, we are infinitely supplied with always. So very interesting. Let's get into it. So we have Virgo and 12th house, surrender. Very interesting. So yeah, I have a feeling once again with Undying Love, that actually has a lot to do with the 12th house, because the 12th house is ruled by Pisces, and that is all about, divine compassion, the unknown, that sort of thing. And as you see here with surrender, I feel like in order to get to this undying love, there is a certain amount of surrender that must be done. Now with Virgo here, Virgo is actually the opposite of Pisces and is very particular. It feels like it knows what goes where, and that's a very organizing energy. It does suit well in certain situations throughout life, because that's where we understand what is worth our time and what's not worth our time. Now, I feel like though with Undying Love here and even the 12th house, you have to understand that just because a certain situation feels like it deserves or doesn't deserve, the love that you think it may need or not need, I feel like it's important to know that when you surrender, when anybody surrenders to love, that's where you get the kind of things that you want out of life. That's where you can alchemize, all sorts of energies, because love is the purest form of light, of energy in general. It is the highest vibration. So if you are in a place of surrendering and knowing and understanding, that's when you're the most powerful. Now, if you are working on this energy and have been trying really hard, and you feel like you kind of go back and forth between like being nitpicky, feeling like you can discern and know like what deserves your love and what doesn't, you know, the 12th house is going to come back at you and say, well, why doesn't everything deserve love? Do you think this way? Why don't you think this way? You know, it really opens you up to amounts of healing that, you know, the analytical side of you might not be open to. And I feel like this has been a time where you really had to battle those out and really open yourself up to the love that you may not have ever seen in your life. This undying, unconditional love, this compassion, this true heart healing kind of energy. I mean, it's very spiritual, and both of these have a lot to do with alchemy and a lot to do with transformation and healing. So this is a significant time for you to not only heal yourself, but to heal your family lineage and the people around you. I feel like you hold a much greater purpose than just what your life seems like on the surface. And the more that you understand that, and the more that you know your role, you know, whatever that looks like to you, whether it's to just share your love or to share your kindness or knowledge or all three, you know, all about taking the time to notice when that's appropriate and know that it's never really not appropriate to surrender to your own power. So very interesting right off the bat, but let's get into the tarot. So we have the Page of Wands. Yeah, I have a feeling that this energy really allows you to feel like you have a purpose, like you are finding your purpose right now. That's a big thing coming up right now. So whatever has been showing you more love or how you've been able to find more love, I'm feeling like that is actually the start of something really big in your life, a big passion project, something that really will matter to you. It's kind of like the insight or the message that you've needed to excel in your life. I feel like you may feel like you weren't going anywhere and you were just having to focus on, you know, cultivating this love energy. And at times it's kind of like, what's the point? Like I got shit to do. And that's what the Page of Wands is. A little impatient, but I mean, you see the value, and you see that, you know, slowly but surely you're growing and things are changing. And despite how you're feeling on the outside some days, you know, you're still growing, and that's important to recognize. Now, next we have the Nine of Swords upright. So this is definitely goes with that Virgo energy, but also the 12th house, because these are two very chaotic energies. You know, the Virgo is very meticulous, very thought out, very detail oriented and analytical. The 12th house is more about being in a trance state, being more fluid, being more in that state of surrender. So I feel like you are just being guided, especially if you are dealing with a lot of stress right now, a lot of worry, which like who isn't, but still, if you're dealing with that, you know, alchemize that energy, alchemize the worry, these thought patterns, all of this weight that you have just been kind of carrying, but not. Like, I feel like in a way it's more in your subconscious than anything. So your nights lately have probably been really crazy. But if that's the case, you know, surrender. Use those moments to not do anything, not try, not do anything other than, like I said, alchemize that energy and turn it into a place of surrendering, a place where you understand that these moments will pass. Things aren't meant to stay forever, and the more that you throw love into them, the more they will pass, and they will, you know, transcend and transmute into different energies. So don't hold out too hard on this feeling, these nights, while you are experiencing so much new change, new growth. You know, you're still going to have things pop up that may put you down and may put you in a different mindset, but those are only opportunities for you to express this love. Keep that in mind. Those are opportunities for you to express this love. So last card we have is the High Priestess in reverse. This is so funny. I literally just said, you know, don't try to be so discerning about where deserves your love and where doesn't. Like, everywhere deserves your love. You know, that's something that the High Priestess is a very discerning, intuitive, understanding of the polarity of life. You know, duality is her thing, as you can tell from the black and white pillars. So I have a feeling that, you know, with this being in reverse, that your energy, while highly intuitive and while you're highly inclined to pick up other people's energies and kind of know their intentions and know, you know, just maybe if they're holding judgments. I mean, you have a keen insight, intuition, awareness, but sometimes that works against us, which is not commonly talked about. But, you know, this card is letting us know, especially from what I was saying earlier, that with this Virgo energy, this very detailed, correcting energy, like you're very analytical and you know how to make a situation go the correct way I should say. It's kind of subjective, but when you do that almost too much, it makes the world black and white. It makes things either good or bad. And when you look at things like that and you don't see the gray, you don't see the middleman, that's where this worry comes in, because when the world is black, you know, it needs light somewhere to shine through. You create, you know, these restrictions and these limitations because you've put everything into a category. You have set up so many limiting beliefs, so many almost like ultimatums in a way, where it's like, you know, you have to be this and you can't be that or else kind of thing. You know, not everything is mutually exclusive in this world. In fact, everything intertwined in some way. So the more that we hang on to this limiting idea, the more pain and suffering that we cause ourselves. So surrendering right now is key. It's the big main point of your life. And the more that you practice surrendering and just using this love energy for all the power that it holds, I just feel like the shift that's occurring into your life is bringing you more harmony, more justice, and just more peace. Like you can't make peace other than taking away all of the stress, you know, because peace is honestly like nothing. So that's what you just kind of have to allow to happen. Just allow this Virgo energy to kind of rest and do its thing in more of a higher light, because, you know, like I said, Pisces and Virgo are very intertwined. While they're two opposite sides of the spectrum, they come together beautifully and balance really well the different areas of life, just like this High Priestess shows, you know, the collective and the individual, the work and the surrendering that we must do. It's all to be balanced. It's all to be understood as part of the whole. So group 3, I hope this helped you guys. If it did, give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you want to go more in depth to this reading, I do offer them, link down below, so check that out. But otherwise, I will see you guys in later videos. Bye for now. Right, group 4, let's get started with your reading about what's shifting right now in your life, what's changing. So Oracle card, we have Medicine Woman. Ooh, you are a channel for divine healing power. So self-explanatory really from that, but honestly, I feel like you guys are really coming into your healing powers in ways that maybe you didn't know before. I feel like this may even be like a complete new journey for you, that you're learning some new, maybe depth to your powers and just knowing how strong and capable you actually are. Oh, this is exciting. I'm excited about this. So let's see what we got going. We have Aries. Wow, Aries energy, and then also first house. Okay. So first house is actually ruled by Aries. Funny how all my readings happen to have cards that coincide like this. So I just feel like you guys are stepping up to your power, your true potential. Like I said, so Aries being the radical, being that self-assertive starter, go-getter, leader type energy, paired with this first house of self, which is also, you know, your role in life, the way that you choose to go about everything, also the entry point in the way that you view the world. So I feel like with this Medicine Woman and with Aries in the first house, you're stepping into your power and you're seeing it for all of the intensity it holds. Maybe you're going to be experiencing something very soon, if not already, that has shown you your stability. It shows you that when you can take into consideration your own response, you see how much healing comes back into the world. Thus, you have, you know, done the work. You've done self-healing, some interpersonal connection kind of work about the world around you and yourself. So I feel like this is really allowing you time to just spread your wings and go. Just allow yourself to kind of take flight and go after the things that you've always wanted, you know. And I feel like I said, this has to do with your healing power and maybe just your divine life purpose right now. So let's see where we are going with all of this. So we have Ace of Pentacles. Wow, yeah, so this is a very big start for you guys. I feel like this is where everything is going to kind of come together. Maybe the resources that you've been waiting for are going to be handed to you and you're going to start experiencing more luck. When it comes to just the world around you, I feel like you've done so much internal work that this is time for you to kind of start fresh and use your energy for something that, you know, you want to invest in. This is all about you and how you want to perfect your craft. So next we have the 8 of Cups in reverse. So yeah, I feel like, you know, your time has come, where you've really reached your breaking point, where you've noticed the things that work for you or don't work for you, and you've decided to take action, and you've decided to work more towards the things that bring you happiness and bring you fulfillment, which happens to be more solitude, being a leader, being by yourself, and doing things the way that you feel that they are intended to be done. I feel like, especially here with this Aries energy, and just honestly everything in this reading is just pointing back to the fact that you have a bright idea. You are meant to be a leader, and this is the time where you're being shown how important your leadership skills are. Because, you know, medicine women are traditionally very, very enlightened beings, people that know the power not only of the world around us, but of ourselves and our own intention and our own energy. So when you use that in your craft, when you use that in how you live your life and the things that you spend your time around and the connections that you form, I feel like that is where you start to see things come out that matter to you and mean more to you on a soul level. This is where you heal people. This is where you find healing. This is where you express the kind of power that you have in a way that affects other people in a positive light. So I feel like this is a huge time for you guys to just really embody whatever it is that you feel like you need to be doing right now. Don't ask questions. Don't wait for somebody to tell you what's up. Like, you know what's up. And again, the Chariot. So it's actually ruled by Cancer. So that's quite interesting, because I feel like you are somebody who is rooted in a place that is safe. It's nurtured and is coming from a healed point of view, but point of view that stresses duality. So I feel like when you bring your healing to other people, that's what I'm kind of seeing here. I feel like you're going to be going on, you know, trips, expeditions. You're going to be spreading more of this healing energy that you've worked to embody in your time, and you're going to just allow people to benefit from it because you can share all of the evidence that you've gained. Once you know what is right and you feel it in your soul, and you leave from a place that has this knowing, has a spiritual understanding, I just feel like you transform from that kind of thing, and you're constantly transforming, you're constantly growing and constantly finding the things that you've been seeking out. And when you do, you see more and more of this connection that you have to this world, because you know that it's not just a straight shot to get to your destiny. You know that it takes time. It takes this whole journey before you can come back around to be the leader. And because you know that and you weathered that storm, you're able to come out on top. You're able to feel all of the power that you've been able to cultivate throughout this time. So if you've been working really hard on just perfecting your craft and finding your purpose in life, you know, I feel like this is the time where it shows up how much you help and how much you guide others and how much your heart matters, the way that you think matters, the way that you just go after things with an impulse and a drive. You know, that part of you matters and it knows what it's doing. So when you trust it and you let it go, you know, that's where things shift. That's where you can allow more of these new opportunities to come in, and you can let go of the things that didn't serve you and that didn't feel good to you, and that also didn't bring you peace. Because like I said, I feel like this is almost a solo journey for you, but in like a water bearer kind of sense, like Aquarius, where you are being detached, you're being kind of away from the crowd, but you're still very invested in the crowd. You're very invested in helping other people, and because of that, you will make changes because you aren't affected by you know, the pain anymore. You aren't affected by, I mean, you may still be affected by pain, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't hurt you and put you down in the same way that it did before. You've learned your lesson and you come out on top because you know that even in transition, you are still full of the strength that you've always had. You know, even at our weakest points, we still have the full, complete strength that we have at our highest points. So it's important to know that. And when you know your highs and lows, I mean, you're unstoppable. You can't be stopped. Nobody is going to be able to touch you because you know what's best for you. And when you let that lead you, I mean, like I said, you're unstoppable. So group 4, I'm so happy to deliver this message to you guys. I hope it hit home. So if it did, give this video a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe so I can continue to give you intuitively channeled messages. And of course, if you want to go more in depth, I do offer that link down below. So check it out. Otherwise, I will see you guys in a later video. Bye for now.